Welcome to another Ortelia Curator video tutorial. This video tutorial is going to deal with how to import 2D images and associated didactic and dimensional information directly from your CMS or from a spreadsheet you may have. So the critical thing in this is that we need to have some form of interchange file that works between all the different systems, and so we're using a CSV file. Effectively what this means is that if you're using a CMS or if you use some sort of spreadsheet system for your cataloging your artwork, you can export a CSV file from that particular application. So that might be something such as KEMU or Mosaic, and equally it could just be an Excel file that you have that you now export as a CMS. Now this allows effectively to do a whole lot of things apart from just importing all your artwork and associated information, but it will also allow you to import images from a whole lot of different locations if need be. So let's get started. The first thing we have to do is go to the File menu and simply click on CMS Import, and this will bring up our CMS Import panel. At this point in time you don't have to worry about the XML part of it, just the CSV. All you have to do now is simply click on the Load CSV and navigate to the folder where your CSV file is contained. Once you have that file, all you've then got to do is select it and import it, and here you'll get something along these lines. Okay, so I've navigated to the place where my CSV file was and I've selected it. And what it's done is brought in all of that data in separate columns. Now the trick here is that you have to know what columns belong to what, and we've made a number of allowances also for different formats that come out of CMSs. A couple of critical things that need to be in your CSV file for this to work, and the most critical one is that there is a column that identifies the actual image name. And what we mean by the image name is not that your image is called Oil Painting 1, but is actually listed as oilpainting1.jpg or whatever the image extension is. So that's absolutely critical. So when you do export from a CMS, you have to export at a bare minimum the image name for each one of those files, and even better a direct path to the location, although that's not absolutely critical. Okay, so let's get on now with our actual import. So what we're finding is in our first column we have both height and width in the one column. So all you have to do is go down through this drop down list and find which order it's in. So in which case, in the case of this one, we know that it's height and then width are bundled together in the one column, so we can select that. Alternatively, you could do width, height. So we've selected our width and height. Now the next one in this column is actually the title of the artwork, and the next column we know to be the year of the artwork. In addition to that, we also have a descriptive column, so we'll select the description, we will ignore this next column, and we'll scroll across until we get to this next, so here on the very end is the actual author of these artworks. So we scroll right across until we get to our final column, and in this case this is the actual column which contains the file names for each one of our images. So we drop down into here and we select image file. So effectively what we've done now is we've said this is our image file, this is who made these artworks, if you like. This is a descriptive text that goes with it, this is the year of the text, and over here we've got the dimensions and we've also got the title. The final thing we have to do is to then navigate to the folder which contains all the images, and this is the second critical thing that has to be done when you're exporting images from your CMS. Export all your images and collect them in the one folder. That way you can import everything directly from that folder. So in this case I've already gone ahead and done that, and here is the path to the folder. And the only other thing we need to do to double check is that we choose the units of our artwork, and in the case of this batch of artwork we know it to be in millimeters. We then click import. Now the import has started. As you can see here, what we're getting is each one of the artworks now coming in and being dropped into the list. The other thing to note with this is that all of the dimensional information has also come in with our artworks. And if we're to look in the didactics, we also got the associated didactics. So that means that we can then place artwork and place the didactic panel with it. So to do that, let's now choose a wall, for example this wall here. Let's go to our gallery tab, turn on our eye line, leave it at 1500 mil off the floor, turn on snap, and go back, and let's say we choose this one and we say place panel as well, and then we simply place it. And you'll note now that our didactic panel has also been placed, and we can go over and look at that. And if we were to go into the didactics tab, we can drop in and look at it. So that's all there is to importing data from a CMS. Once again, to reiterate, what you really need to have is a CSV file that contains your image file names, and associated with those image file names are the dimensional information and anything else you want in your didactics panel. Ideally, when you export your file or when you create your CSV file, if you have the direct path for each image file, it means that you can import from multiple locations. So either just the image file by itself, or the images in a folder that you can navigate to. And that's pretty much it for importing files from a CMS.